Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Talks.
Wow, it's been a long time. From last time
Really long time,
I
yes.
hear your voice.
Yeah, do you recognize my voice?
Yeah, it feels so good.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we kept in touch for this long time.
Yeah, because there was a while I thought like you probably changed your number, and then I saw your image has been looked like a blank person. It feels like someone blocked you. It only happens that time. So I thought probably you either block me or you either like change your phone number or some stuff. I don't know. That was my guess.
Yeah, I did change my phone number, but it kept working. But then all of a sudden, I was typing to you and I got no response. So I thought that you like forget about me or something.
No, actually, you change your phone number. Probably, I think whenever you change your phone number, you need to. There's a function like you have to notify some people, things like that. Otherwise, the person would not be able to 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 message you, something like that, or contact you.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, maybe that was a problem.
yeah. But how's your how's the relation with that woman, your coworker?
Well, she just unfriended me on Facebook, which she has done that before to other people during our relationship. And
Yeah.
I know when she does that, it's like final. Then she doesn't want anything from you.
But it's weird because it's just friend. Why it has to be like this? It
Yeah, but
it feels like Laura, whenever she does something and she just block you, things like that. So that's why
I'm
when you mention about her, I feel like,
yeah.
wow, this is another version of Laura.
I only attract that kind of girls. It's so sad.
I think
But
probably
anyway, with this,
I think probably you are. I mean, okay, this is my impression of you. So it's like I feel like you are a woman, but you are more like you are more scientific or you are more like reasonable. I mean, compared to most of the girls. So that because if the girls they are too how to say too emotional or if the girls they are too like lack of any sense or like low educated, I would feel like I would like to interact with them, probably just make them to go with me, hang out with the boys, like what I did with Laura. So we walked on the beach and find a guy. The guy touched her boob. I was sucking the guy's cock. So basically, that's the thing. I would find those girls, but but I mean, sometimes normally, we just had nice interaction, just had some sexual experience, something like that. But what between Laura and me was very weird because there was a period of time she was treating me like her boyfriend. Like she asked me to pay this and that. I felt like, it was kind of her manipulation as well. But that time I felt like, okay, I'm not that poor to buy her this and that. I would just be okay that, if we go to 7-Eleven together, she wants some bread or she wants this and that, I would just buy it for her because that time she was poor.
Yeah.
But
I think she was really desperate for a boyfriend.
like me.
like anyone.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, and
that's
yeah,
I think how to say that. I don't know. I think for me is that I feel my life is, I mean, a lot of parts of my life is being satisfied. So
yeah.
the only section that's being left empty is relationship. So that's
Yeah.
why I would like to just fill it up. Like there's empty hole. You would like to put something inside to make it content. But I think for Laura, it is something else. I think she doesn't have anything. So basically,
Yeah.
she was hoping that relationship could bring her everything.
Yes.
So that's what I felt. Cause a lot of Thai girls, I mean, especially the women are from like a little poor situation or poor background. They are they use this way, in order to increase their social class or
Yeah.
yeah. I don't basically blame that. I mean, some guys they want it as well. Some guys they would like to feel like they are like a father or something. It's
Yes.
okay. It's like a matching. A
Yeah.
finds A, B finds B, and C finds C. So it's fine for me. But Laura is just like I don't know. I mean, she can. I just feel Laura is so stupid. Is that she does this thing, but she does the thing everything so tacky. Is people can tell
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't give a very good mental impression at all.
Yeah. So that's why I think because those girls are probably mentally unstable, and so
Yeah.
then they find you or me, which are a little stable minded, relatively speaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
I don't consider myself as mentally stable at all times, but when I feel unstable, then I withdraw from people. I mean, I don't send the shitty drama onto others. I just withdraw and stay in my home and avoid people. And then when I'm stable enough, I can interact again.
I personally think that whenever I feel I'm talking with you, I feel
Yeah.
I'm very stable in mind. And
Yeah.
but to be honest, generally speaking, I'm very stable in mind because
Yeah.
because I see myself as a director, as actor, and also audience. So because
Yeah.
I have this kind of like yeah, I told you I'm like kind of like a psychopath because I can see things like this way. So
Yeah.
whenever I mean, normally most of the cases, if I'm angry, probably I was 50% acting, because I'm 50%
Yeah.
seriously angry, but 50% that I think I part of me, like a director, tells me that hey, right now you should be angry, just go angry. And then also part of me as an audience, I see that oh, I was playing the drama so well. I was happy to see I could get more angry, something like that. So that's
Uh,
why, especially when I was dealing with the Indian thief, and I was like half very stable in mind. Somehow also felt like a little tired, angry that if things could go smoothly, and we could avoid wasting a lot of time on this.
yeah.
But to be honest, with my boyfriend, I was fucking emotional
Yeah.
yesterday. You read my
Mhm.
message, right?
Yeah.
What do you feel?
Well, I just feel that I am really impressed that you have kept writing to him all this time, because it doesn't seem like he gives you a lot. I mean,
No,
his
not
his
at all.
answers are really short and, to be honest, quite shallow.
Yes, you said it right. I think. Mm, I don't know. I think. Okay, so something is like I think he's a person I feel I would like to talk with. you
Yeah.
know. So I would say that I cannot 100% blame that he was shallow or he was indifferent to my words. I would say like 50% I just want to express. So
Yeah.
he's a nice guy for me to talk about the things, because sometimes you talk to a person, right, about what you've done, what happened to you. It's a way that you help you to summarize, right? You help you to
Yeah.
get things together in your mind.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
during the way of talking, you try to put things together. So it helps. It helps. So I would say 50%. I appreciate that he
Yeah.
was
I get it.
he was like a listener all the time. But the other 50% is that yeah, I hope we could have more interaction, but it turned out that like what you observed is I mean it's not only you and everyone who ever checked our chat, they could easily say, hey Talks, why this guy is so indifferent? You are always a person
Yeah.
who sees the detail, who try to tell what you think, but that guy was fucking reserved. And
Yeah.
that's why, cause okay, so that's why yesterday I was very angry, because because that I felt like for him, he liked my stories, he liked my life,
Yeah.
he likes listening to my things, the drama, whatever, and it's also part of our interaction.
Yeah.
But it's for me is that okay, I also give him a lot of love, and I always say I miss you, I love you, this kind of like this and that, and we had a nice we didn't have a really good interaction, but it was okay, because I can tell you that, because we've talked like this for 1 year and a half. So basically, our interaction reached a very a climax around last December. So because I created an app, so the app can make summary or count how many words we talked. So basically,
Yeah.
from the data is that from this January, our communication of words, it goes lower
Yeah.
and lower and lower. And
Yeah.
so basically right now, and a few weeks ago, we even talk about like, hey, basically in the past we had a really intense conversation. So the conversation basically have covered every part of things. So right now, whatever the topic we would talk about, it must something we've talked before. So it's
Yeah.
nothing too new, so right now I would be okay that he's not very responsive, he's not very talkative. It's okay
Yeah.
because I think, like I also feel like for spiritual connection, it also has its limit. So the limit is
Yeah.
based on your past. So if your past is simple or lack of adventure, whatever, mental adventure or whatever, so because it builds up the experience. So basically, if your past experience was a little simple, then there's a very very easy to reach a limit. If the
Yeah.
if the spiritual connection is too intense. So I think
Yeah.
basically, so I wouldn't blame that much, but I would say, it's just I would say like, oh, I feel that in the future, if we meet, if the chance we could meet, and then we also talk about that, we said, yeah, probably we could be more, because when you really meet that person, you're gonna have some, sharing common experience together, right? So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you travel together, maybe you cook together, or you talk about your past or some stuff. It could, the I was thinking the situation of our relationship could move on and could get better.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for. But the thing that, so that's why since this year we talked less, we just maintain that we had some drama, but the drama didn't blow too much bubbles. But just like yesterday, I was really pissed off because I just said, like because like we talk about the manipulation thing, it's more like an art, because different people have different interpretation of this. For me, somehow I would say I don't really really see manipulation as a big deal. For me, okay, whatever influence or the manipulation or convince, it's just basic the same behavior that you are trying to use a kind of way or words to put some information into the person's head, and in order to
Yeah.
make some change. So that's why I think, probably from my point of view, my way of using manipulation or my way of using influence, for me, it's actually the same thing.
Yeah.
you get my point. So,
Yeah.
but it seems like this thing has been so serious for him. So,
Mm.
and he said something that was blaming me or whatever. That's why I said he was using my words to against me,
Yeah.
and I didn't feel all right with that, because for example is that, it's like a teamwork. So you have done the most job. It's okay
Mm.
that people don't praise you, or people don't thank you or don't appreciate you. But never could be those people are trying to blame you for what you've done, right? This
Yeah.
this is what I couldn't accept, is that, hey, in this relationship, I was more like a constructor, I was more like a maintainer. I was trying to balance all the ways. I tried to, I tried to heat this thing up to keep the keep the passion and everything. And
Yeah.
now after what I've done, and not only you didn't thank me or didn't appreciate that, but you started to blame me just with a tiny thing that I just said. I just felt like that was a sudden shock for me. I feel like I have been wasting my time on this person for so long. I just feel like,
Yeah.
was I blinded, or just because I was blinded by the love, that I felt like, oh, we could be together or whatever. But it turns out that this person, he doesn't give a fuck about, hey, a lot of what I've done for him. That's why I felt like, oh gosh, I felt like I was so cheap. It's like, oh, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally get it.
Oh, he's an engineer as well. So that's why I told
Yeah.
you last time about
Mm.
dating with an engineer. It's like everything is like 50%. The kind of like feeling. Like if you're
Mm.
dating some guy that is romantic, or he's more creative, you can get
Mm.
whatever the love, get whatever the happiness, or even sad, like 100%. You get that feeling 100%, like a high speed, like full speed. But if you're
Yeah.
dating a nerdy guy, like engineer, like, you get happy, but the happy is 50%. You get sad, that
Yeah.
sad is also 50% or whatever. It's
Yeah.
stable, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like lame or boring.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my experience as well.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
But do you
So.
think that? What do you think about his reply about, like? Yeah, you just asked me about, like, he said he said that maybe we could be as friend or whatever, or maybe we can meet in the future.
Yeah. I don't really get why he says that, because I kind of reason like you. Either you try 100%, or you don't try. You don't keep it open, because then you might limit yourself regards of meeting others, or you know.
Yeah, because for me is that, I mean, I feel like, it's like, I feel that, yeah, I'm definitely had some push on him. But the
Yeah.
thing is that if I don't do this way, that I won't feel comfortable. I won't feel that I could continue this, because
Mm.
basically he was so indifferent, and like he said, he got immunity of this and that. I I think this is something more a philosophical difference. It's like, I never see that, hey, you're immune to kind of emotion is a good thing,
Yeah.
because I think what's the difference between robot and a human is that robot has no emotion. So that's why the
Mm.
robot is kind of like unbeatable, right, in emotion, because nothing emotion could beat the robot or everything. And
Yeah.
also, I I think that, for the scientists, those people, because they would like to do something that is so big, and it could the technology, the invention could make a huge difference for the whole world, right? And then
Yeah.
they can be emotionless, and they can be just focused on some, you know, invention or technology or research. But
Yeah.
to be honest, like most people, including us, we're like 90% of like whatever we call us morons, whatever we call us normal people, right? That means we are still human. Like basically, after our deaths, like nobody gonna remember us by high chance.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So that's why, you know, that's why in my original philosophy is that I don't see the point. That's why you have to reserve your emotion, because you reserve your emotion first doesn't make yourself a 100% robot. Second, your reserve doesn't make you achieve more in life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You won't be a very prominent, you won't be a very important or famous scientist, because that's very low chance. And you're
Yeah.
just a human, and you try to reserve for what? It's like a savings. You got savings in the future. It can got you interest. No, it's just lame for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, to me, there's a difference of suppressing your emotions or be able to handle them so that they don't, you know, take over your whole life.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you need to be able to master your emotions
yeah. But
to
you you
to
think
welcome
his
them.
way, you think his way
Yeah.
of doing so is kind of like mastering the emotion or suppressing the emotion?
To me, that is suppressing.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah.
What do you want to say before? Sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You're so cute.
But I think many people have, or especially women, has a problem with handling their emotions. Like with this girl, I'm sure deep down she doesn't want to cut me out of her life, but now when she has unfriended me, there is no going back because then she will lose face.
I think she just used that way as a protest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But that
Because
is
her emotions were too strong at that moment, and she unfriended me, and then there is no turning back.
that is very lame, to be honest.
Yes, it's very childlike behavior.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
this is not a relationship. Sometimes, I mean, for me, I don't know whether it's an excuse or not. I think in relationship, it's okay to be emotional,
Yeah.
because love and hate is always like twin brother, twin sisters. Because
Yeah.
you love that person so much, then you're probably gonna hate that person so much as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for friendship, is that it's very flexible. It's especially for me. You know what I mean?
Yes, the friendship be at a whole different level,
Exactly.
and not at all as important as the romantic relationships.
Exactly. So that's why, you know, for me, that most of the time, I can just by several sentences or several talkings, I could easily tell, you know, how deep this person would go, and what the level of this person is. But so that's why and some of times I pick up my words, like what I would say to them, in order to
Yeah.
avoid some problems. So that's why it's like the conversation I had with you would never happen between me and Laura. And
Yeah.
but I mean, for this woman, I think that is very low mental status of
Yes,
him.
but the worst thing is that she's really smart. So she's totally wasting her talent by acting like a baby.
No, you think you're talking about her smart in IQ or EQ? Because it's different.
IQ, definitely.
But that's the truth. You know, a lot of people they're high IQ, but they're very low EQ.
Yeah, but her EQ is high in order to manipulate people, because she understands, you know, the social game and all. She's very talented in making people like her, and she always knows what kind of gift to buy someone, and she buys gifts to people as a way of making them like her whenever she needs them to like her.
That sounds very like me.
Oh.
But maybe probably she sees something more between you and her.
I think so. Our relationship has been too important.
Yeah, for her maybe.
Well, for me as well, but there was one time, you know, as I told you about this dad at my work who wanted me to have his kid for
Yeah.
a week. Yeah, and you know, I told you after that, when he had paid me, and this girl Jenny, she thought I was such a bad person for accepting the money.
I think this is very pointless to feel that you're bad. For what? You do
Yeah,
your
she
job
already,
and you get your
yeah,
payment. What's wrong with that?
yeah, but she already has this idea that I'm cheap, because she is like a total shopaholic. So comparing the two of us, I'm really, really cheap.
Sorry
But
again.
anyway,
It's like he's a workaholic.
shopaholic.
Oh,
Yeah.
so she bought a lot of things before
Yes, yes. She
Like-
buy a lot of things to, you know,
to show
as
off.
a way of control. No, as a way of controlling her emotions. You know, whenever she feels sad, she goes online shopping.
Then why you call yourself cheap?
Well, in her eyes, I am cheap,
Why? For what?
because I don't spend money on. You know, if we go to a store and we try on clothes,
Yeah.
and I see something I like and I don't buy it, then she say, "Oh, you are so cheap."
Ah, come on. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's not my definition of cheap. I'm prioritizing my spendings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because when we have been on
I
holidays
would
together or
I
whatever,
would
I
say
have
that
always,
this person is just very shallow. Probably she's
Yes.
smart, but she lacks the wisdom. You know what I mean?
yes,
A lot of
yes,
people they are
yes,
smart. A lot of people they are
Yeah.
smart, but they don't have the wisdom.
yeah,
I think the people who has wisdom, they can see the pattern of
Yeah.
human nature of a lot of things around them, and once they see the pattern, they have a strategy to work with it.
yeah. Well, her strategy is just to avoid emotions, because she's so unstable. So if she lets her feelings show, then it gets too much for her. So that's why she's trying to control them.
By buying things from online.
Yeah.
That's really hard to control, to be honest. Because I somehow had that similar experience back then, that I like to buy things like shopaholic, and
Yeah.
that how to say, that passion or that feeling of being good would only last a very short time.
Yes.
And somehow, like, the soon the things arrived, you somehow feel like you've touched it, you've got it, you feel like it's not that appealing anymore, and you start to play this pattern again.
Yeah. But you evolved from that, right? You don't have that behavior anymore.
No, not at all. Right now I think I'm totally going to another direction.
Yeah, you're going my way.
Because, there was an Indian guy, the Indian guy who stole my laptop. And he even
Yeah.
said, "Talks, why you are so cheap?"
Yeah.
He said, I never see you buy clothes. I never see you wear something new or some stuff. I said,
Yeah.
look, first, this is Copenhagen. It doesn't have so many options to buy. It doesn't have even It doesn't even have a shopping mall or something like that.
Yeah.
And second, because in the daytime, the sunlight is fucking strong. I only wear the long sleeve like the shirt, to
Yeah.
block the sunlight. It's very practical,
Yeah.
but it's just ugly, and it's fine for me. So
Yeah.
so that's why, and somehow right now I even right now I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so including the shorts and the shirts, I only got
Yeah.
8 pieces in total.
Yeah. Well, that's enough, right?
That's fucking enough for
Yes.
living in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So, but I don't know. I think this is like you said, it's like evolvement, right? Evolving,
Yeah.
what do you call it? Evolvement. So it's like
Yeah.
you were at a very low level of mental status, and then you try something, and after you've tried, you've seen the pattern, you've seen the result, and you think that result is
Yeah.
enough for you, and you're trying to go to the next.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I would say that girl is maybe he's capable of socializing, like like with her EQ, and you also said she was smart, but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean like she has wisdom to see through the life, something like that.
No, that's true. And I think that is what I brought into her life,
Oh,
because she
sorry.
always came. That was what I brought into her life. Whenever she had a problem, she came to me and asked me for advice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but it's just so cheap that she just unfollowed you, and this is so crazy.
Yeah.
And I felt like you were very innocent. Actually, it has nothing to do with you. It was the guy who proposed to invite you for the game,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, and I told her even that if I knew that he had promised her, I would have asked him to ask her instead.
Hey! You actually just mentioned a very important point that I would like to talk about.
Yeah.
It's like, most people they say like, hey, I hope you could be honest. I hope you could be transparent to me, and we don't lie to each other. We don't hide. We don't have secrets. But
Yeah.
to be honest, not. I think 99% of people they cannot handle this.
Yes, that is true.
Let me say something about my boyfriend or
Yeah.
ex-boyfriend or whatever. So,
Mm.
did you see in the message he mentioned about a American girl?
Yeah.
Okay, so since the very very beginning, I mean, I met him. I mean, 1 year and a half ago. I
Yeah.
I stated my point clearly is that you are fine to date with any girl, and I
Yeah.
don't mind it. You are free to fuck with any woman. It's okay, and
Yeah.
and back then I had sex with the Ukraine guy, right? I told you, and
Yeah.
with different guys. I always share my story with him about my thinking, about my feelings or whatever. So
Mm.
I think last December or last November, I forgot, but actually he went to Mexico. So in Mexico, he checked in a hostel, but he lived
Mhm.
alone there, and he met several like Americans, and one of them is this American girl, and
Yeah.
I think that time, like I said, in December we had a really good communication. He told me everything about her, and
Yeah.
everything, and she felt this girl stupid and naive, and but they had sex. It was fun, so
Mhm.
I was totally okay. I had no feeling actually. I didn't even feel any tiny jealousy out of it. I just feel like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just a story. I like to listen about your life. It's cool. And
Yeah.
I also, I think my love to him is greater because I feel like if a woman could bring him pleasure, I would even thank that woman.
Yeah.
I don't see the point that I have to jealous because if I love him and someone could bring him happiness, why the point that I have to jealous of?
Yeah.
And but until last month, he went to Greece, and so basically I thought he would just go there with his friends, but
Mhm.
I think that time I felt like he didn't talk to me at all, and he
Yeah.
didn't share anything with me at all. Actually, before he went to Greece, okay,
Yeah.
he stopped talking too much. I felt like, oh, it's weird because before, this guy, he was living with his parents before
Oh.
before April. So before this year
Okay.
April, he's 29, and before he was living with his parents. So
Mm.
in April, so he finally got his independency of living alone, and
Okay.
so he had freedom to do whatever he wants, right? And
Yeah.
at the very beginning, it was me who encouraged him so much that, hey, you better move out of your parents' house. And I thought that after he moved out, we could have more time to communicate or talk. But
Mm.
it turned out that I was totally wrong, because the song he moved out, that I felt like basically our communication just dropped like 30% or even less. He was busy
Mhm.
with this and that, and I felt that was fine, and but it was very obvious. It was very easy to feel that the time before he went to the Greece, and I felt like we didn't have really nice talking, and he was ignoring me all the time. Then the
Mhm.
song he back from Greece, and I forgot. Actually, he didn't tell me in purpose. It was just we talking something else, and he
Yeah.
suddenly mentioned that the American girl actually met him before he went to Greece,
Mhm.
because actually he told me that he went to Greece in order to meet a bunch of Americans, and he told me that those Americans were the people he met in Mexico, but I didn't know that actually the American girl actually went to his place and lived with him for a while before
Okay.
they visited Greece. So, and then after that he went back to Switzerland, and I thought that, okay, the American girl left, and
Mm.
everything was it seems like over, and
Yeah.
also I think that time probably that American girl did leave from his place, because probably the American girl went somewhere else to travel, but
Mhm.
but that's why something is tricky, is that why I felt the same thing, that these days we didn't have really nice conversation. I felt so pointless to talk to him about something. He was not
Yeah.
reactive. He was not reactive at all. Then
Mm.
you see the message he sent to me is that, oh, he wanted the American girl leaves, and then we could have the phone call or something like that. Then
Yeah.
I figure out, oh, okay, it was that. So right now the American girl is actually living with him. But
Mm.
that's why I want to talk about the topic, is that not everyone can handle the honesty. Is that basically I don't really mind about this. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but in the past, he said himself that we are each other's we are each other's diary, and
Yeah.
we talk everything to each other transparently. But it turned out that, wow, something that is so big, you didn't even mention about her. For
Yeah.
me is that for me, you can say that, hey, baby, right now the American girl is living with me, and I want to send a few messages with you because I don't want to get her feel bad. I'm very okay if you talk like this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't feel
Yeah.
okay is that because something happened and then I suddenly notice that by accident, I notice
Yeah.
that or I know that, okay, oh, what is going on? So that feels very cheap
Yeah.
because it doesn't, it feels like he didn't trust me at all. He didn't
Yeah.
trust that I would feel nothing towards that girl.
Yeah.
Then he probably finds a reason that, oh, because I don't tell you this, because I don't want you to feel jealous, or I try to protect your emotion. I would say, no, baby, I'm a fucking strong person in mind. I don't need that. But I appreciate that if we could, be honest to each other. That's
Yeah.
why I said that, because I
Mm.
can tell you that there are so many times I feel like his reaction or his behavior is so dumb. Is that he
Mm.
thought I wouldn't notice that. I would say
Yeah.
that I would say that girls, especially girls or women, they are very sensitive, right?
Yeah.
I'm a sensitive person as well. I
Mm.
can basically tell what you think or what is your mood just by the frequency of your reply or the speed of your reply. And
Yeah.
how could you just pretend everything is fine? No.
Mm.
I think that's a lot of guys have this problem, right?
Yeah. It's because he doesn't have that ability himself to make those interpretations.
Sorry, again?
It's because he doesn't understand that you see things differently, that you have this
Yeah.
sensitivity about frequency of replying or number of words you being used or whatever, because he
Exactly.
doesn't he can't see it that way.
No,
He can't collect any information from it, you know.
no, he couldn't. So that's why he thought nobody could. Then,
Yeah,
but it's not
exactly.
true. A lot of people they can do this way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's easy. Just check how speedy you reply, how many words you reply, and what
Yeah.
what are the words you use to reply,
Yeah.
and you could easily, even I don't see the person's face, I could easily tell that what is his mood right now, right? What is his attitude, and
Yes.
how could you just play so dumb that seems like I don't know it? Ah,
Yeah.
that's so tacky.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that I can tell you. I think probably you would resonate with me at this point as well. Is that there's a reason I don't want to text him anymore,
Mhm.
because basically I would say if we stop the song I
Yeah.
said we break up, that means there will be no more drama. There will be no more anything terrible, right, to bring our
Yeah.
mood down. But the
Mm.
thing is that because I think this is the something about the text is that the text you don't know what the tone that person is using, right?
Yeah.
If I
Mm.
say I'm manipulating you, or I
Yeah.
can say I'm manipulating you. So actually it's
Yeah.
a different tone. It has different vibe. But
Yeah.
if you just type in the text, it basically erases all the tone, and you don't really
Yes.
know what that person's emotion is, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why at the first point is that why I don't want to message him anymore is that because I think we don't know each other's tone, and it has a lot of misunderstanding, misinterpretation, and
Yes.
you can see that the song I said we break up. No matter how many messages he sent to me, you can
Mm.
see it brings the anger more and more.
Yeah.
that's the thing. And second is that basically I have I have said everything clearly, very, very clearly in the past that what I wanted, how I felt, but he didn't give a fuck. So
Yeah.
even you could tell that I I said like we should find a time to have a phone call. That the time I said this, it was it was like 2 months ago. And that
Yeah.
time he said the song he came back, he would come back from Greece, and then I mentioned it again, but he said what time is okay? I said you can, because my time is flexible. So how about you make a time and then we just do it. Then you can see from the messages that he sent to me that he was using that to blame me, that I give you a chance to make. That's so
Yeah. That's stupid.
that's so stupid that
Yeah.
you made up everything and you are still trying to blame me. That's
Yeah.
so unfair. That's so cheap, so cheap. I was
Yeah.
whatever. I felt like my feeling to him right now is very like paradoxical. Is that
Yeah.
part of him just made me so disgusted? Is that
Mhm.
how could you do this to me? And and the other part is that I feel like I'm still soft to him. That I
Yeah.
wish I mean we could go back together in the past, like what we had before. I would
Yeah.
like to see what's in the future. So this is very paradoxical. So that's
Yeah.
why I don't want to message him anymore, because first we don't know each other's tone. Second, that you don't really care about my message. I've sent that already, but you just don't read it, or you ignored it. So what's the point that I would message you again and again and again? It's time wasting for me.
Yeah. So you haven't ever spoke on the phone?
We actually spoke on the phone before, but it
Okay.
has been a long time ago. I think February, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
But I think it's complicated.
Yeah.
But what is your advice? Or if you were me, what would you do? Like he said he would like to. I mean, yeah.
Well, to me, I either you go for it 100%, or you just drop it.
But what do you think if you were me?
Well, it depends. If you think that you can find someone else, then I would say leave him. But if you don't think you can find something equal or better, then stay with him. If you can work this out.
I can also honestly, tell you this is that it is not that I couldn't find someone better. It is the problem is that whether I would still have that patience. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like talking to someone for 1 year and a half.
Yeah.
It's not just something that you can easily do it. I
Yes.
I the reason that I want to continue is that, like I said, it's like an investment. You have invested
Mhm.
1 year and a half, and
Yeah.
just because of this, you just give up. It doesn't
Mm.
sound it doesn't sound very wise, right?
No. No.
But on the
But
other hand, it's like I
yeah.
said, it's been a while like this. It's being you. It's another hand. Another point is that because yes, we've known each other so much or so well, and yeah, we have seen there's a pattern. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The pattern is like a big design that no matter how we try or how we modify, we always fell back into the pattern. So the
Yes.
pattern is like repeating itself again over and over. Nothing
Mm,
constructive, nothing creative. So that's
yeah.
why it's getting angry and also it's getting boring.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the thing is that that's why you want to drop it. You want to give
Mm,
up.
yeah.
I
Well,
think
maybe you just need to meet each other and see how it feels.
I know, but
I mean, in
because
a near future.
well, the thing is that actually a month ago I did some research. I even called the Swiss embassy about like administration embassy. I was asking like
Yeah.
what is the correct procedure to apply a visa to visit Switzerland or something. But it's just because the COVID. It's impossible.
Okay.
It is fucking impossible. Oh shit.
But you can meet in another country, right?
Yeah, we can, but he's working. He has his job. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, and
But still, he took time to meet those American people.
but because they went to
Yeah. Well,
Greece.
he could have asked you to go to Greece.
No, 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 no. Okay, so I fully understand your point, but the thing is that right now I cannot go to any country in Europe
Why?
because it just banned all the Asian
Uh huh.
except Korea and Japan. So
Okay.
or Taiwan. The rest of the countries they are all banned. So there's no any
Okay.
access to go to as a tourist to get a tourist visa or some stuff.
Uh huh. Okay.
You know, I can be honest with you. I can be honest with you is that I feel very disgusted about my I would say like I'm a proud with my ethnic as a
Mm.
Chinese, right?
Yeah.
But I feel disgusted with my nationality of a Chinese because no matter how China calls itself that a big country with long history, also the economy is booming or blah 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 blah. But the thing is that its passport is one of the weakest. Is that yeah, you don't have freedom to go like anywhere you want. You don't have that freedom to do things. And especially, for me, because I have been one of the smartest Chinese, is that I've known like how to, transfer all the money out of China in order to
Mhm.
have some we call it cash freedom. Is that you can use your cash, your money free. But
Mhm.
otherwise they only allow you to use like they only allow you to use around 5,000 US dollar every year.
Okay.
I mean dollar every year out of China. That's
Uh huh.
ridiculous.
Mm.
So that's why I mean to be honest with you that I I I know that it sounds very what it will say is maybe cliche or maybe bad or what. I somehow feel like yeah. I mean, if in the future I could get any way, I could get a passport, out of
Mm.
China. I mean, another passport. I think my life would be so much easier than
Yeah.
what I'm having right now. I think I told you before, like a lot of the rich successful Chinese, they always have they say like if your life cannot be a successful, if your life cannot be the top niche level of people like politicians or very rich like like Steve Jobs or Bill Gates, those people, then
Yeah.
there's a very basic standard of being a successful person is that you can earn money from the biggest Chinese market. Second is that you can have a passport out of China, and the third is that you spend money in Southeast Asia, like Thailand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why, I feel like, okay, right now I feel like, oh, I have reached the number one criteria and the number three criteria. So right now the only thing I'm missing is that, okay, I don't have a foreign passport, and that's why it stops me a lot. It gives so much limit on my life
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
explore more things, explore more. Yeah, but that's the thing. I think back in Sweden, the same. My boyfriend, he talked about people living in Swiss, that yeah, you guys had the strongest passport, but there are so many people, they never actually really walked out of their city.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, is this a part why you have kept your boyfriend for so long? Also, that you wish to get a Swiss passport?
Well, the thing is that if this could happen, it would be a bonus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is not something I'm hiding from him. Actually, I told him very, very long time ago. That's
Yeah.
why I said, that's why I said I'm honest all the time. It's not everyone could handle this honesty.
Mm.
I,
But
I, yeah, okay. What do you want to say?
maybe this makes him suspicious about your feelings for him as well. Maybe he just think that you use him for this purpose.
I think that okay, the thing that we also discussed this before. Okay,
Mhm.
it's not something that I said, but he didn't respond. But actually, he responded, and we actually talked about this. I think in a very clear way, is that okay? My point is that okay, in the future, like first I know that I love him. Okay, first I know I love him. It's a pure for art that I emotionally love him. I feel like
Yeah.
we are connected, and scientifically speaking, that in the future, if he would like to give me this bonus, I would be very happy to take it.
Yeah.
You get it? And
Mm.
but it may need him to get married with me, especially he's a straight guy. You know, he's
Yeah.
not he's not a gay guy, so it would be more challenging for him. So that's why
Mm.
I actually, there was a long time ago. Actually, I told myself that if this could happen, I would thank God. I mean, I was so lucky. I could do this, but if not, I would just be very happy to be with him.
Okay.
Yeah, because above this topic, we even talk about that in the future. What if there's a woman appears in his life, and we even talk about that. Maybe we can live together like we love each other, and we also stay in the same room or something. It sounds very weird, but actually we talked about this before, because I
Yeah.
said that every couple, if they stay at a certain long period of time, they wouldn't have sex, because all the it's you get my point, right? So they don't have
Yeah.
sex, they lost interest. I told him
Yes.
that it happens to every couple. So the sexual attraction, it really works if both of them are each other's strangers. It has a lot of
Yeah.
chemicals. But the ones,
Mm.
you live together, you listen to the fart, you smell their shit,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
all the imagination, hallucination, fancy things are just all gone. Everything is
Yeah.
just very practical, scientific life. So that's
Mm.
why I told him that if you could see through that pattern, then it means that it doesn't matter that we will still like have you will still have a sexual attraction to that woman or whatever. I think at
Yeah.
least three of us or two of us, we can trust each other. We can build a
Yeah.
family. We can live together. Something like that. It sounds
Yeah.
very, very. idyllic, but
Yeah.
but because in the past I was living with a couple in China. We had a really good relationship together, living
Yeah.
under the same roof. Why we split? We didn't broke up. Actually, why we split is because the couple they broke up. Okay, the
Mhm.
couple they broke up. They have nothing to do with me. I was that time I was even trying to be the coordinator. I was helping them to bring the gap, but it was because the gap between the husband and the wife was so big, something even related to their parents, like their parents, they each side's parents they don't like each other so much, and it
Mm.
involves a lot of Chinese culture things. Then that's why they broke up. That also I left Shanghai, so there's no way we are still together. But
Yeah.
with my boyfriend actually, we talk about this visa, we talk about this passport, we talk about in the future what if we live together, or in the future what if there's a woman shows up or whatever. Yeah,
Mm.
but but maybe you just mentioned a good point. Maybe even I think we talk about this. Maybe
Yeah.
deep down in his mind, he thought probably I'm still using him or whatever.
Yeah. That could be the case.
Yeah, that could be, but I mean even sometimes he's dumb. I mean he's not that dumb. He knows that we had a really good connection. We had a really deep conversation. It's not
Yeah.
something. It's not something. It's gonna happen to any couple.
Mm.
I just feel like he's being so reserved. Like he mentioned himself that he became more and more immune, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what's the point of the immunity. Get him out
Yeah.
of the COVID. He got COVID,
Yeah.
What's that immunity for? Oh.
Oh.
For example, I think there's one thing that I think probably he knew it just slightly, is that because compared to most people, right? He
Yeah.
got his independence very very late.
Yeah.
Yeah, because especially happening to the Western culture that most of your guys got your independence just after you graduate from the school or whatever.
Yes.
But he just got his independence like this year, live out
Yeah.
of his parents,
Mm.
and so that's why I think even he wanted to act he's mature, but to be
Yeah.
honest, in many ways he's more like a big boy for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I I don't know what to say. Is that I think for me, because my experience is too much for even an ordinary person.
What do you mean?
So I mean my experience is much more than even a normal person, because I, for example, spiritually speaking, or talking about spirit, I worked in the funeral industry. I wanted to
Mhm.
discover the religion, the life and death. I interviewed a lot of dying people that time, and
Yeah.
also I worked in the finance industry. I worked as a capital investment post investment manager. That time I was managing 20 company at the same time, to manage their marketing, to manage their finance, giving
Mhm.
advice, management,
Yeah.
HR. And also I had my experience as an entrepreneur, and I created companies, and one of the company was I joined the team because I offered them a solution of investment or everything. And after I joined the company, and that company was also very weird company, that it creates a religion. So basically, I witnessed or I partially helped the company, from the zero to create that religion and make that religion got 21 million followers. So, and also, I seduce straight guys. I have a better understanding of human nature. I also, I even did cannibalism, something like that. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
my experience is just too much, just judging by my age, judging by the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I mean my experience is even too much for a normal person who is working daily, right? Like,
Yeah.
on this, and then compared to him that he just got
Mm.
his independence like this year. So
Yeah.
it means, do you mean, I mean, the experience gap between me and him is even bigger.
Yes.
Yeah. I somehow felt like I think somehow I felt like maybe because this huge gap, probably it
Mm.
somehow creates a very strong magnetic field or magnetic attraction, right?
Yeah.
It
Mm.
brings us together. I think, I don't know, maybe somehow he's like a blank piece of paper that you could you could write everything, you could do something even though he's an adult. And
Yeah.
but if I'm dealing with a normal person who got his independence long time ago, that person, his mind, he's already fixed, right? There's no much
Yeah.
space to work on it, to draw something some on it. So, I personally feels like this way. But
Yeah.
but there are many ways, why you can see why he was very reactive to
Mm.
the word manipulation. I think
Yeah.
he doesn't like people to see him as a blank piece of paper.
No.
He still, because there are many ways I can feel like he wanted to prove that he's an adult. He's capable of this and that.
Yeah.
But for me right now, I think I think something that, especially in a relationship, in the romantic relationship, I seriously don't want to. I don't really want to prove everything, anything.
Mm.
Because, he said, "Oh, I'm immune to the manipulation or some stuff." I think the way he's saying that is ridiculous for me.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to say, "Hey, I'm a grown up, I'm fine, I'm capable," but
Yeah.
I think I swear that I never said something even similar, like even similar in the style of this
Mm.
sentence, because I never would like to prove I am someone in front of him,
Yeah.
because that makes me feel tacky or cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like, because I love you, I I have my emotion to you, and I am honest to you. I don't see the point that why I have to prove something. So that's why when he said that, actually it was not the first time I felt like he would like to trying to prove that he's someone, but it's like playing his own ego, right?
Yeah. But he just shows that he's insecure.
He is insecure, actually.
Yeah.
But for me, actually, we also talk about this. We said like everyone has their own insecurity. So, for example, for me, is that, so, because that time I was being the post investment manager, right? So basically,
Yeah.
my company, there's another person. He selected some potential companies, and then that time I found one of the company was great. Then actually I quit my job and joined them. That's
Okay.
how I got involved into the business. And then this business it works like an elevator, so it goes up quickly, rocket high, and I just took profit at a certain level. So
Yeah.
and after we sold the company promised the buyer promised us that they would pay us a consulting fee every year, every
Yeah.
month. So basically, since 2017, I didn't work at all. So every month, without working, I can just get a bunch of dollars without working. It's seriously without working. I mean, I would say I would work 1 hour or 2 hours, but it's nothing compared to
Mm.
a full time job, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's why, but the contract was 5 years. So that means next year it's gonna be the deadline. So
Oh.
this bonus gonna be gone.
Oh.
So I was honest to him that I said like my insecurity is that what I'm gonna do next, what is my next like hook. So that's why
Yeah.
did you remember he said parasite? Did you
Yeah.
saw that sentence? So basically,
Mhm.
I told him myself that I felt that that time I was with that company, I was like a parasite. And
Yeah.
even I didn't have to work so hard. I just talk, bring people together, talk, change their mind, and in order to bring them together to have a same goal. So just by talking, I can just get I just can get the money, and even
Yeah.
planned a very good like a retirement pension for the rest 5 years, things like that. So that's why I said I felt like I was a parasite. But
Yeah.
why I was angry is that he actually used that word to against me.
Yeah.
I felt that was not fair because I felt like I had done so many things good to you, and you couldn't even remember I said that, hey, after 3 days it's gonna be our 1 year and a half anniversary. You didn't even fucking remember this, but you fucking remember that I said to myself I was a parasite. So
Yeah.
so maybe, that's why I asked him, I dare to ask him that, do you really think I'm a parasite? Maybe in the future I will parasite you? He said, no,
Mm.
whatever. But probably, I think you just mentioned something correctly that probably he thought that in the future I would use him to get some passport or a Swiss passport in order to use him, whatever. So
Mm.
I could be a parasite, and he could be the host, or whatever. But
Yeah.
oh, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, he should have seen already that you are fully capable of taking care of yourself.
He actually knew that because we are. Another thing that's why I say it's fully transparency. Every every month I have my financial report of my personal savings, everything. He knew that because I share this to him every month
Yeah.
because I have a very good management of my belongings, my things, my money, my time, my schedule. Because I'm trying to be more organized,
Yeah.
or and also managing my money has been a habit for 10 years. Yeah. So
Yeah. No, you showed it to me in Thailand.
yeah. So basically, I just showed this to him because
Mhm.
I think if we're gonna live together, I think knowing each other's financial, foundation or base is important.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's from countryside, but I think,
Mhm.
but he told me that in the past, his father was very worried about being poor or in short of money.
Mhm.
But he said that. But basically, he showed me the picture of his family. Because before he was living with his family, I think
Yeah.
I somehow feels like I somehow felt like his family, his house, his parents' house was nice, because the
Yeah.
decoration was classic. It showed like his father got or whatever his mother got good taste, you know.
Yeah.
Probably Yeah, probably they were poor before, but right now they got some enough money to use. I don't know. So,
Yeah.
but so I personally, like you said, I'm fully capable of managing my to live alone or to live my own life. You know, I'm not dependent on them, or I am not dependent on him or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
so that's why I I actually don't know what he thinks, but like it's all right. He should see that I'm independent financially.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
You are even more independent than he is.
exactly. The thing is that I'm much richer than him.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway,
Yeah. So do you think he will reach out to you again?
I I you know I think from the way he sent a message to me, do you think he's getting soft, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to be soft.
Mm.
Because you know in the past I know that he would play his ego, that oh I'm immune or something like that, you know, but this time
Yeah.
he's trying to be soft. I you know this that's why it's hard to make decision. I mean if he's playing cold that hey just okay fine let's break up, you know, I would just say oh yeah, let's break up.
Mm.
But if he's being soft I feel like oh I don't want to be the bad person. Actually I still want us to be together.
Yeah.
But also I could feel that I could also feel that I think you know I think standing at his point I think probably he wants to break up the romantic relationship but
Yeah.
keep the friendship.
Yeah.
Yes, but like you said, but this would be not what I want.
Yeah.
Because if just as a friend, okay, if just as a friend, I think he's not qualified to be my friend. He's almost
Really?
he's almost there, but not the thing is that I think in the future, okay, this is my experience. It's like whenever
Mm.
I broke up with my ex, yeah,
Yeah.
and it would be a totally breakup.
Yeah.
For example, the ex I had I had been together with him for 3 years. We broke up, and we still have each other's contact, but
Mhm.
but none of us has any motivation to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you know. I think maybe I mean even I say that hey let's become friend. It sounds nice, you know. It sounds like a happy ending
Yeah.
for this drama or for this story. But
Mm.
you know, in reality, because based on my experience, based on my vision or ability or talent to see through the pattern, is that it would end the same.
Mm.
I think somehow it will. I think somehow you can relate to some people. Like for example, this girl dated a guy in a city, right? They've been
Mm.
there for like 2 years or 3 years. They went to every part of the city. They eat things together. Sometimes when they break up, the girl would like to leave the city because there are so many memories in the city. Whenever she
Yeah.
goes, whenever she checks around, it always brings up the memory that you know the two were so good together.
Yeah.
You get my point. So that's why you know I think that's why I mean most of the times or I don't know whether it's most time at least from my experience that it doesn't work if they break up because it feels like, it's whenever you would like to talk something, it will always bring up the memories.
Yeah.
It's very inevitable.
Yes.
So that's why, it sounds like, it's a happy ending if I say we can still be friends, but I somehow I know what will be going on.
Yeah. Well, I am actually friends with one of my exes, and we can have like a friendly conversation, but at times I can feel that he wants to get back to what it was like before, you know?
But how long? That time, how long you broke up? You have broke up.
We broke up like 3 years ago.
Yeah. But okay, that is coming to your turn. That do you feel you want to?
If I want to be friends?
Do you want to come back with him?
No, absolutely not.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I can tell you that even, let's say that, okay, me and Silvio, that we're gonna be friends, and at a certain point, he would say like, oh, talks like, it's just maybe my imagination, okay? Probably
Yeah.
I think it has a very low possibility that he will say, oh, talks, I find that I want to get back together or some stuff. But I can tell you that I really know myself is that I would definitely wouldn't give that chance because I have known this person so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think suddenly you remind me, you enlightened me with your story that I could say this way. I could say this way is that I think when the two people, why they were very, okay, of course, every couple at the very beginning, they were very lovely. They love each other so much, right? Everything's happy, everything's so good, everything's so connected. And then at a certain point, and they have some drama, they have some conflicts, and it is okay because that's just a way to test each other, like how how cooperative, right? How harmony the life in the future would be. So and this drama will repeat or will happen for a couple of months or a couple of weeks, whatever you say it. But then it will come into the third period. I think the third period is more like a pending process. I think right now what I'm having with Silvio is actually at the pending process. The pending process is that all kinds of drama, whatever, kind of drama, I think we have been through all kinds of drama, like all different types. So whatever the drama we're gonna have is not something new, not something creative. It's just something we have experienced before.
Yeah.
And it just repeats again. And I think when it's coming to the pending session, it means like we're waiting for something. And I think what the thing is that, I think at this point is that I would say the love is there, and the foundation is solid. It's actually coming to the time for the couple to move to the next stage.
Yeah.
Because it's ready. It doesn't mean that there's no specific scientific criteria to say that it is ready. You can see it as more of intuition.
Yeah.
It's like a very complex, very complicated human emotion that you can tell that is ready for the next step. But because there's nobody taking the move, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you propose to get married or you try to move into that direction, and whatever one side is not aware of this period, or he's afraid, okay, he's terrified or whatever, and then this pending period will come into the other alternative. That means it's gonna collapse.
Yeah.
I think so. I think this is the model. So
yeah, that's also why I said that I think you need to meet up, to see where things are going. But as it's not possible, the future is not that clear,
yes. So that's why I would say it's like, so that's why I would say that if, okay, we become as a friend, and then in the future, I mean, first is that the first point that even we become friends, I would say that we will lost the interest of meeting each other, because it just sounds so nice to talk in this way. But based on my experience, based on my experience, I know it won't work. It just sounds so nice. It sounds like a happy ending, but it won't.
Yeah.
It won't practically. In reality, it won't work that way. The other point is that if we break up right now, and in the future he changes his mind or I change my mind, and there will never be another opportunity, because the pending period is over.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say is that the only way that right now I just feel like there's no any third option, is that either we continue this relationship until we meet, but in the name of romantic relationship. It's not in the name of friendship or anything.
Yeah.
And the second is that we just break up and stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think he has some cultural barriers to cross. It's a really big step for him to have one, first of all, to be gay, and second of all, to have like a boyfriend. Those are really big things, I think, for him, because most Western families are not that open for that kind of relationships. Or it's a huge step for someone to announce to their parents that they are gay.
No, the thing is that I don't really need that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't really need him to tell everyone or any person. He can keep this secret himself as long as he wants. I don't.
Yeah, well,
really,
maybe he doesn't want to keep it a secret because it takes a lot of energy.
But I don't know whether it really. Oh, I think. Oh, honey, you are so smart. Basically, you just mentioned another point. I think, because there's once I actually talked to him about that. You ever talked to anybody about us?
Yeah.
The answer was no. So
Of
basically,
course.
yeah. So basically, I am the only. I am the only person who know what was going on between him and me, and now you are. At his side, there is nobody knowing what is going on between him and me. They don't know the existence of me,
Yeah.
And there was a period of time. It was around last year, like July or August. I think that time he was a little, I would say, lovely, and he showed some pictures of his friends, his best friends, and he even introduced like each friend's name to me.
Okay.
That was nice, even though I never got a chance to say that, oh, I feel that you're trying to bring me into your life or bring me into the circle. But that time I was touched. I felt he was trying to. But after that, he never did this, and it's fine, you know. But I think, I think somehow it should for him to have a person to talk about us, the same like I'm looking for you to talk about me and him as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you just brought up a really very how do you say, very nice topic. I think it's very important. I think
Yeah, because no one is helping him to grow in your relationship, because
exactly.
I think you need to talk to someone who is outside, who can give their point of view. Because when you are in the middle of the relationship, you get blinded by your emotions or whatever, and you just need that second perspective.
Yeah. I think that's why, you know, that's why. But, you know, basically, I was hoping that he could find his own way, but without my help. But I personally really don't know. I would say that I admitted that I admit that I did give him a lot of love, but I also understand I also give him a lot of pressure as well. I mean, using the name of love. I didn't want to. I didn't do it in purpose. It's just like I said, like come with my gene, because I know human nature so much, and it's sometimes it feels like that. You are so smart. You know, in front of you is a hole, right?
Yeah.
Basically, you can just jump it, but somehow he wishes you could just walk through it.
Yeah.
And in the risk of dropping inside. So that's why I said my manipulation tricks is not to trick him to benefit me. More, I think the trick is just to avoid some conflicts.
Yeah.
Things like that. Because I can tell you, I seriously know how I say things. I think I'm okay, it sounds very narcissistic, but I think I'm more of a master of talking. I know how to talk so well, and each of my word, you know, how to say that, no matter I'm talking English or Chinese, I can precisely predict people's reaction of my words. It's not something I want to, you know, it's something just happens simultaneously in my mind. And that's it. So that's why I think, you know, I gave him some pressure as well. And if he holds it, and it could become big. I think if there are someone like you who could tell him that, hey, talks is not manipulating or whatever. Okay, honey, how about this? Let me ask you a question. Just judging by my way of talking or judging by how I interacted with him, do you think I was manipulating him?
No. Not at all.
Yeah, but that's the thing, that because maybe my interpretation of manipulation of this word and his interpretation of manipulation of this word is different, right?
Yeah.
So then we got these stupid things.
Yeah.
Ah, he is a cute, lovely, not lovely, I mean just cute, sweet big boy.
Yeah.
You know, his father is a little, how to say, very reserved. of his own
Okay.
feelings. So that's why he
Yeah.
comes in. And there was one day, he told that. I think it was one of the very rare, one of the very rare situations that he realized something, that he was brave enough, or he was brave to admit that he was very much his dad and mom. He said this
Okay.
because he actually described his father before. I felt
Yeah.
like even he doesn't like that. That time he didn't like that. I felt that what he did was exactly the same like what his father did to him.
Mm.
But it took a long time, for him to finally admit that.
Yeah. Well, it's good that he could see it,
Yeah.
because that's the first step towards change, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh, honey, I think we are so related. You just brought up another topic, change. There's another thing that why I probably want to end this relationship is that because I feel that in a very, very low probability that the person will change.
Yeah.
Because I can be honest with you that I cannot even change myself so much because I even designed the app to check my time or everything, but I'm still a lazy bum, I just it's it's so hard for me to change my routine, to change my habit,
Yeah. Well, that's human, because change is scary.
not only scary, but it's just like I'm not scared of changing, but I just don't know how it can last longer. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's why, I felt like very rare people. I think not only up to 0.1%, like those people, they can really change their personality. Because
Yeah.
I have a theory is that actually it's your personality decides your life. Nothing
Yeah.
else. Because if you can change your personality, actually you could change your life.
Yeah.
Right? You see some people, they are very lonely, they don't have friends. Because why? Because their personality is very reserved, very introvert. They don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable talking with people, they don't find topics talking to people. So that's
Yeah.
why, their personality, you know, brought this type of life to them. But think
Yeah.
about the person, if he could be more sociable or whatever, the life would be
Yeah.
so much different.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not about him. It's just about me that I hold very, negativity. I hold very much negativity about the chance that a person could change
Yeah.
in his life. So that's why
Yeah.
I feel like, if I continue or if I keep this relationship with him, it won't
Mm.
be much difference.
No.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to have the motivation within himself to change, and that's. I mean, it cannot come from a wish from you for him to change. He needs to have the motivation within himself.
And I can tell you that, last time he talked about the immunity, and I felt like he's changing into a more negative way.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's okay that if you don't change, you just remain flat or,
Yeah.
stable. But now you
Yeah.
become even less emotional or even less like reactive to things around you. What's the point of that? You're telling me that you are more and more becoming a robot, and that's why I don't feel proud. I would never be proud of that. You know what I mean? This is totally not my
No.
thing.
No.
How would I say that? I mean, if you are a person very emotional, very sensitive, right?
Mm.
Sentimental, and then you say, "Oh, I'm getting more stable. I'm less and less reacting to the external world, I would say, oh, you got improved. But my boyfriend, he's already very reserved,
Yeah.
very holding back, very less talkative. And
Yeah.
he was saying like, oh, I'm being more immune to the things. Or I say like, my God, that's terrible. Yeah, that's another factor that, it gives me very negative perspective towards our future. It feels
Yeah.
like I would say you are I would say, I mean, it's correct that if we could meet each other and we could give us time to live in under the same roof,
Yeah.
I would say everything would be so much different. But
Yeah.
just because right now it's the COVID, it's
Mm.
uh, it's it's basically it's impossible.
Yeah.
Actually, I have an idea, and
Yeah.
I thought about this when I was driving. I
Mhm.
think because I just told you that right now whatever we talk, I mean
Yeah.
whatever we talk in the chat, we could make the other side more angry. So
Yeah.
I would say that what if we just stop talking,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean we break up. So it is more like a volcano remains dormant
Yeah.
until we meet each other.
Yeah.
I personally don't know whether it will work. It sounds idyllic that it's like you frozen the things, right?
Yeah.
But I have somehow very negative prediction that this frozen it means break up. It could be, right?
Yeah.
Because I know as a life pattern, like the human nature is that, yeah, you right now if you still keep in touch, right? So
Mm.
the heat is still on.
Yeah.
But if you lost in touch, like, but somehow our connection it's different, right? It's like we stopped talking for a long time, but
Yeah.
we kept talking. Everything is still all right.
Yeah. It's like nothing happened, really.
Yeah. Or maybe I should choose
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah.
Because like I said, because whatever we're talking, if we keep talking, we are running the risk that we're gonna get the other side more angry, yeah,
Yeah.
or pissed off. So what if
Yeah.
like right now we just shut up, we stop talking, and soon the COVID is getting better. Let's just meet.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you present that idea to him and see what he says?
Yeah, I will. I will probably call him, and because we made an agreement that we're gonna call each other on Sunday, and
Yeah.
see what's going on.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
But how about you? Are you going to try to get back with that girl?
I'm not sure. For for my sake, I would like for her to say at least like, okay, I don't want to be friends with you anymore.
I,
I want
honey,
I
I
want
think
I want the
every
closure.
yeah, I think everyone prefer the other side to say this.
Well, I could tell her that I still want to be friends, but maybe I'm not. Maybe that's not a good idea either, because if she is this unstable, I mean, I don't want to be her therapist.
Yeah, you're right. Therapist, that's a good word.
Yeah.
I felt
because
like
she just keeps talking about her husband and her kids and she's just complaining about everything, and I just have to try to set things straight, you know.
well, I think a lot of people they like complaining. It's non-stop
Yeah.
complaining.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you give them some constructive suggestion or advice, they basically
Yeah.
just ignore it and they kept
Yeah.
they just repeat their complaining again.
Yes.
That is stupid.
Yeah, but also it's kind of sad because we've been friends for whatever 2 years, and to just stop talking without even saying like goodbye, that's, to me, that's not how you do it.
I that's why sometimes I I can tell you that it sounds very lame, but it happens to me. Is that sometimes I see some new people,
Yeah.
and the automatic thought towards that new people is not that hey I wanna make friend. It's like I know you're gonna be another trouble of my life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that will stop me like contacting him or talking more with him.
Yeah.
That's I wouldn't say that my prediction is 100% correct, but so far, because I have dealt with many people, and I felt like only several of them, and they could seriously earn my trust, like they could appreciate me, in a way.
Yeah. But is this also with friends that you have known for a long time, or is it just new acquaintances?
Uh, I would say is that mm, I think it happens. Okay, how to say that? The I think for me right now, okay, for me right now, I'm not talking about the past. I think in the past I have some friends, and right now they all get married, they all have their kids,
Yeah.
and their thinking are quite different from mine already. I
Yeah.
mean, we still can talk, but we cannot talk on the same page. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like I fully
Yeah.
understand their life, but it's hard for them to understand my life, and it's hard for me to explain even.
Yeah.
Because for them, they just feel like, oh, why you're still in Thailand if Thailand has COVID, and they don't understand why I'm still staying here, and they
Yeah.
would even say, oh, China is so good, why not come back to China? I mean, I still cannot explain this to them. I would say that I appreciate that because basically we've chosen different type of lives. So
Yeah.
it's very good, very stable, everything's perfect for them if they keep
Yeah.
staying in China with their wife and the kids.
Uh,
But for me, is that it's something like it's like I have skipped that part, and
yeah.
there's no way I would turn back.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I can tell you that since 3 years ago, I have had more and more like foreigner friends. You're one of
Yeah.
them, and I felt like okay, the thing that it's nothing about foreigner or about the Chinese. It's more about like whether you could meet those interesting and deep people. You can have
Yeah.
really qualified, really high quality conversation.
Yeah.
It's just that yeah, I also had a lot of selection. Some people they just come in and went out, like Laura,
Yeah.
and also
Yeah.
like Jack, those people. But some
Yeah.
people like you, not so many. I think countable, less than 10, that
Yeah.
we still have a really nice connection. we can talk, we can share.
Yeah.
Yes. But I would say that you are one of the very rare one, because because
No.
uh, because you are also not married. I can
Yeah,
tell
well,
you.
I have the same problem because basically everyone here are either married in a relationship or divorced with kids. And
Yeah.
it's so boring because our lives are so different. And if you want to do something with them, you have to plan for like a month before.
Mm,
You cannot be spontaneous.
no.
Yeah, and it's so boring.
And also whenever they are get married, or they have a kids, or they divorced, their mentality is different.
Yeah.
I think they are less funny. I would say that way.
Yes. Yes.
They are
True.
they are too boringly practical. I mean, for me,
Yeah.
I'm also a practical person.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean I'm a boring person. I didn't mean it doesn't mean that I make people bored. By
No.
contacting with me, I always can have my interesting drama or interesting stories to share. I live my life with
Yeah.
energy, with different colors. I enjoy it. But
Yeah.
those people, like, whenever they get married, I felt like, oh my God, I mean, it's okay, you can get married, but it doesn't mean that you have to be like this.
No.
That's terrible. It seems like something took away from their life, like
Yeah.
their life, no, their life, or their attention is no longer placed in something that is funny. They place
Exactly.
something more practical. What can bring their benefits? What's the
Yeah.
cost? What's the benefit and the
Yeah.
cost? That is so
Yeah.
scientific. That's so scientific. That's why I say, life shouldn't be like that. You should
Yeah.
find a balance.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
they also they lose their own will to do things. They always have to ask their partner if it's okay to do this and that and that, and then they just quit asking, and they just do whatever they think that their partner wants them to do.
yeah.
Which is just to stay at home most of the time.
Yeah, and in China we have this kind of like social media, is that it's from the WeChat, so the WeChat can have its own circle. It's like it's more like a like Chinese version of Facebook, and
Yeah.
whenever those women they got married, they started to
Yeah.
post the photos of their kids all the time,
Yeah.
never stop. Like
Yeah. It's so uninteresting to watch.
no, not at all. That's why I didn't block them. I just blocked viewing their status.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah, that's what I do as well.
Gosh. And there was once I was talking to a woman, and she said that, oh, Tox, why you are still very funny and your life is so colorful because you don't have kids. And I said, like, oh gosh, honey, I've seen how you spoiled your kids.
Yeah.
That would never be me, I would
Yeah.
at the very beginning I would tell my kid that, okay, I have you as my part of my life, but don't think that you're gonna take 100% of my life. I will give you 10%. That's the maximum. So go mind your own, business, and I will do my own. And
Yeah.
and give me some space, and you just do whatever the fuck you want. And I
Yeah.
think that's a balance, because I feel like,
Yeah.
hey, I have spent my money and time to raise you, and
Yeah.
in short term I don't see any return or benefits. And you want me to give all my time, freedom, or energy or attention to you. I would ask myself, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's life. It's hard.
Mm.
It's hard to say
Yeah.
because I think you, actually I was writing a book last year, and the book is not finished yet.
Yeah.
But the book actually covered a chapter about love.
Okay.
That's what I talk about. Like most couples, okay, most of couples is nothing about like how deep they were. It was about who they are right now. It's like most of the couples, I think, like their purpose of having a deep connection, I mean, is not just for serving the deep connection itself. It's actually as a preparation for their future of having a kids or build up a
Yeah.
family, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And whenever they have the kids, or when they have made that step, and those deep connection will be all gone.
Yeah.
It's more like a package, like you tear
Yeah.
away the package. So that's why
Yeah.
I called that. I called that you can. I mean, actually, that was the time I told myself that because there was in the past, I judged those couples like being superficial. I felt like they don't have a common sense. They don't have enough knowledge about the whole world. They're so
Yeah.
like small, tiny minded, and
Yeah.
they just get married. Seems like they're happy. I was judging them by this way, but after all of a sudden, I started to view them in a different perspective. I felt like if they have a destination or if they have a destiny of raising up a child, probably that deep connection is a preparation. It is not the core of the very beginning because the kids can act as a core, like a glue, to bring
Yeah.
the father and the mother together. Right now, even
Yeah.
my parents, they divorced, and
Mm.
they still have to contact each other because of me.
Yeah.
How about your dog?
Sorry.
How about your dog?
Yeah. He just woke up. He was asleep under my cover.
Mm,
Yeah. He's fine.
that's so cute. But
Yeah.
do you sometimes feel that the dog can act, or you feel that the dog would be your boyfriend, that kind of like way?
No, not really.
Not at all, or maybe 10% or 5%.
No, he's more like a friend in that case.
Mm.
Like a roommate.
Yeah, I have a friend, and he has his two cats, constantly around him, and he
Yeah.
told me that he felt the cats are his girlfriend, and I personally, I mean, appreciate. I hope I could feel the same with my cats.
Yeah.
Feel like they are my lovers, so that I'm not so dependent on my boyfriend for this kind of like romantic relationship or something. But I just felt like, oh, I cannot because I think the reason is that I'm too talkative. I need someone who could talk.
Yeah.
Not just two stupid cats sitting there meow 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 like this.
Yeah.
It's so cute to watch them, quietly walking or whatever, playing.
Yeah.
But I need
Yeah.
someone to talk with. That's the key, because I'm so fucking talkative.
Yeah, but you need maybe more. You need someone to listen to you, and the cats could do that.
I actually did, but the conversation is shallow.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I think I'm weird at this point. I think I've seen some people that they talk a lot, but they repeat their topic again and again,
Yeah.
non-stop without feeling tired. But
Yeah.
I'm different that I'm talkative at a certain amount of time. But
Yeah.
the rest of the time, I'm very silent. I'm very
Yeah.
reluctant to talk.
Yeah.
Hey, how about the connection between you, the relationship between you and the father? Anything progressive?
Well, I actually saw just like 30 minutes ago he was writing a message, and
Really?
we haven't been talking a lot since I took care of his kid, and I thought maybe he was mad at me because I charged him too much.
How much
Because
you charge him?
I charged like $500 for a week.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like a few days after, he wrote like, "Oh, my child misses you a lot,"
Mm.
So then I thought, okay, he's not mad. But then we
But
didn't
normally,
talk
how
at
much?
all.
How much you should charge him if you think that if it's a market price or whatever?
I think I charged market price.
The $500, right?
Yeah, for 1 week.
But he thought it was too much.
He didn't say so.
Mm.
But my friend did, so.
Your friend, I mean the woman, Jenny. What's her name?
Yeah.
Jenny.
Yeah.
She said it was too much.
Yeah.
Then what was her price?
0.
Oh yeah. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Nothing can be cheaper than 0. Otherwise, you give the money even back to the person.
Yeah.
Like a negative amount. Like you take care of their kids and you also pay the money to the father. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, but I told him that he doesn't have to pay because I'm not doing it because I need the money. I was doing it to help him out because he was in a difficult situation with the kids' mom. So to me,
But the thing is
the
that
money.
if you don't get the money, if you don't get the payment from him, how you would get your own income to support your daily life or whatever?
Well, I have the unemployment welfare
Oh yeah.
right now because I'm not working.
Oh, you already got that, right? Because last time you told me you were just applying it or whatever. You were thinking of getting it or whatever.
Yeah, I got it now. So
how much is that?
It's about $130.
Dollar?
No, $1,300 per month.
1,300.
$1,300. Yeah.
Dollar per month. Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean.
You think it's a lot?
I mean, I personally think that if that money is spent in Thailand, that would be a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you spend that money in Sweden, wouldn't be because the price level would be different.
Yeah, but my rent for my house is like $300 per month.
Yeah.
And the cost for the car is like.
What your rental $300 per month?
Yeah.
I mean, it's only one room or it's have a kitchen or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a bedroom/living room, a kitchen, and a bathroom.
But $300 is kind of cheap.
Yeah, I know.
No, because I compared the price back in Shanghai.
Yeah.
Because I bought a house in Shanghai. It was only one room bedroom, so one bedroom like a condominium, and that fucking stupid, like one bedroom, I rented out for like 1,200 US dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I would say like $300 if you get you get a kitchen, right? You got kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have garage. Kind of.
Yeah, I can use the garage if I want.
Then I would say
And
the price is it's very good.
Yeah, well, I live with a woman that she used to work at the same preschool as I did.
Oh.
And when I broke up with my boyfriend, and I kind of told her that I had no place to live, so she said I could come to her place and live here.
Oh, that's why.
because
So,
she has this extra like cabin in her garden. Yeah.
so you're living in
So
a cabin in her garden,
yeah.
but is it hot right now?
Huh?
Is it hot right now?
Medium.
It has air conditioner,
No.
but it could be very cold in the winter, right?
Yeah. Well, I have radiators.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it's good.
Yeah. So it's like a small house, you know.
Yeah, that's nice. Cause
Yeah.
if it got everything, that's necessary, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Mm.
And she's really kind to me, you know. There is an old couple that I'm renting from, and they cook food for me, and they wash my car, and they take my dog out for walks, and we're like a family.
Gosh, they're like your parents. It's not like your family. They're
Yes.
like your parents.
Yes. They are more like my parents than my actual parents.
Well, they're so nice.
Yeah.
How could you meet these people? That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, she was working at my preschool, so she was really kind to offer me to live here.
But she also knew Jenny, right?
Yeah, and she doesn't like Jenny that much.
Yeah, I think
She know it is this old lady, you know. She wants to take care of everyone, and she knows people, so she know that Jenny is not a good person.
because it's true. Because if you are old enough, you can see through a lot of people. You can see through the people by their behavior, by the way they're talking. It's not that complicated. Just like experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this lady, she's really cool, you know, because she's like 67 years old, and
67, but still working in the school.
No, she quit a few months ago.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I can talk to her about anything, you know. I can talk about the guys and all the details, you know. And she's like my life coach.
Yeah, it's true. Because this reminds me the time I was interviewing a lot of dying people.
Yeah.
I think the people when they are dying, I think they have a lot to speak, but in front of their families or relatives, they cannot open their mouth to talk things freely. I think the psychology is that they have built their image in the past, like a steady image in front of their families members, or like the father is strong, then especially approaching to the end of his life, he wanted to remain that image, to leave a good impression. He doesn't want his son know that he's a playboy or he's a douchebag or some stuff. But if he met a stranger, he would be so free to talk everything, and you wouldn't believe that he could be a homophobic, but approaching to the end of his death, and he seems like he could accept, he could understand, he could even would like to try everything.
Yeah.
There was a guy, like I was interviewing him, and after I shut off the camera, we talk about something else, and I said I'm a gay and blah 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 blah, and he was fucking curious, and he said like, oh, what how does that feel? And I said, well, it's different or some stuff, and then he said, can I fuck your ass? I said,
Did you let him?
No. Because he's I think okay, I was afraid that what if like he's fucking me and he's just dead, he just passed out, and
Oh my God.
that would be, because I watched a movie, I forgot the name, but actually that movie had shown this kind of like thing, like an old guy having sex with the young woman, and the guy just got a heart attack or whatever, just passed out.
Yeah.
I felt like, what if it happened to me? It would be so dramatic. I used the title that I would interview people to give people the love or whatever, and it ended up that I'm making love with the patients. That would be so ironic. But yeah, I understand that, she's old enough to accept and able to talk everything.
Yeah, because when I talk to her daughter, she's a friend of mine, and she's so surprised to hear that this old lady is like that,
Yeah,
because that's not the relationship that they are having.
yeah.
It's very different. So it's well, but it's very rewarding to talk to older people.
It is very rewarding because they have
Yeah.
experienced a lot, and
Yeah.
they can tell you a lot of shortcuts because they have
Yeah.
experienced that, and
Yeah.
and also you can be selective, and you
Yeah.
can say that you can see whether that works on you or not. It's
Yeah.
basically like you're standing at the pyramid, like you're standing at the end of the life, and you're trying to give a whole perspective of the
Yeah.
life of yourself, and you know where you're
Yeah.
staying. Actually, this is
Yeah.
what I said in the conversation with Silvio. I said
Yeah.
I had an interview this experience. I met people who are dying. I know, like, what is my current position of my life. I think, yeah, I think that is. I think most people most people, I would say most people, they are actually, they don't leave the moment, but they are living at the moment.
Yeah.
It means like they have their spontaneous reaction and a feeling towards the things. But for example, maybe at that moment it matters. But
Yeah.
if you give it 80 years or 60 years, you would say that
Yeah.
that is nothing. That is,
Yeah. You get the perspective.
yeah. That's so useless. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, sometimes I feel like, okay, this is just also my imagination. I feel like if Silvio could be more perspective, he would know that. I mean, he said that before, that he knew that I am a very rare kind of like people that like
Yeah.
like it's you don't really meet, or you don't easily meet people like me, or someone like me. It's not that common, and
No.
he felt that we had really deep connection or whatever. So the
Yeah.
thing is that it really, I assume that he felt that way. He sincerely felt that way, and I
Yeah.
sincerely appreciated that he said that. But it just like there's an offset between what he said and what he does,
Yeah.
especially recently.
Yeah.
So that's why it made me feel that, come on, this is cheap.
Well, to be honest, I think that you are too much for him. It would be too difficult for him to invite you to his life, because you are so different to the people that his friends and his family and all that, and he would have
It take a lot of
to
guts.
motivate he would like to motivate to why he is with you, because it would be so strange for all these people, and it would be so much out of his character to be with someone like you.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, yeah, I fully understand. But my point that I don't really need to know his friends. You know what I mean? I can have my own life with him, like
Yeah, well, maybe
independently.
he wants for his partner to be involved in his life, because most
Yeah,
people want that.
I get your point. I get your point.
And also you get to know the person, not only by knowing the actual person, but also by knowing the people who are close to him.
Yeah. Actually, that would be tough. I mean, it could be easy for me if I act, yeah?
Yeah.
But it would be tough for me if judging by whether I really want that, because I'm a quite selective by 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 yeah by making friends or spending time talking to whom, and
Yeah.
also especially the I can share a story. I mean, there was one day I went to Samui, and there was a
Yeah.
guy. I didn't have a motorbike. I wanted to rent a motorbike, so I
Yeah.
went because that was a hostel, and the receptionist was standing there, and they had a motorbike for rent business. I
Yeah.
came over, asked, I want to have a motorbike to rent. The guy there was a British guy, a little fat, chubby, old, but he was cute. It looks cute. And a very, I mean, a cute old guy, and he was he was boozing. He was a little drunk with his little reddish face. And he said, "Ooh, yeah, young man, you want to have some drink?" I said, "Oh no, thank you." He said, "Oh, maybe too early?" I said, "No, I never drink." He said, "Oh my God, your life is boring. So what do you do? Do you smoke?" I said, "No, I don't smoke." He said, "Oh my God, what is your life for? What is your habit?" I said, I was like, I didn't want to talk to him because I felt like it was a waste of time. But since he
Yeah.
asked, I was also curious about his reaction. I
Yeah.
said, "You really want to know?" Tell me. I'm okay for everything. I said, "My hobby is sucking different guys' cock." And his face is just so twisted, He was like, "Oh my God, that's epic." And he was shocked, and then I opened my phone and I showed a lot of my sex videos to him, and he was so overwhelmed. Yeah. And then he turned to the receptionist. He said, "This is a fucking weirdo I ever met in my whole entire life. Thank God, I still got a chance to meet someone like him. Otherwise, I would be dead." And then he hugged me so tight because he was semi drunk. He said, "Oh my God, I like you right away." And I said, "I love you too. If you want me to suck your cock, it would be my pleasure." And his face is twisted again. He said, "Oh, gosh, I wish I could, but I think I'm a little drunk. It wouldn't get hard." And I said, "Oh, maybe let me just touch it or give it a pet." And then I was grabbing his cock to grab, and the song I was grabbing his cock, I mean, out from his pants, and he was looking at the receptionist with with his two eyes really big open, and he said, "Oh my God, look at this, look at this shit! What he's doing to me? He's raping me!" And he was so exaggerating. And then the song, the receptionist told. I mean, the receptionist was a little indifferent. She literally rolled her eyes, and she
Yeah.
turned back to me and said, "Right now there's no motorbike available. You can go outside, turn right, and blah 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 blah." And then I said, "Okay, fine, I will go." And then the British guy, dragged me back, and then took his key out from his pocket and said, "Hey, little bastard, I like you. So today, you can take my motorbike and do whatever you want." And
Oh.
yeah, that is, I then you talk about yeah, if I met Silvio's friends, I would be too much. I think I can fully understand what is your point.
Yeah.
This is too much because I am too honest to feel tired to lie of my who I am, because
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to be judged. But sometimes it's not even about people they judge you. At least you need put some effort to build a good image. But for me, is that I don't give a that fuck. It's like whatever the image you wanna, the projection you wanna have on me. I mean, I'm just fine. If you wanna ask me this, I will tell you this, 100%. I mean, with honesty. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, and even did I tell you, like, even I was in a yoga class. So basically, I personally, I just want to go there to have a yoga. And the teacher was somehow very kind and asked everyone to introduce. And then it's coming to me, and I said, "Oh, my name is Tao. I come from China. I like yoga, and I hope today I'm gonna have enough fun, practice, for health." And then the teacher asked another question like, "How long you been living in Copenhagen?" I said, "Oh, 1 year and a half." And he further said, like, "Oh, why you choose our yoga class or something like that?" I suddenly said, "Because you're handsome, I want to seduce you." It's honesty, and
Yeah.
everyone's
Well,
shocked.
what was his reaction?
His eyes was also like openly, big openly, like that way, and he got nothing to say, very speechless, terrified, and
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, for me, that okay, you just do the yoga, it's fine. I mean, I don't want to talk that much, but if you keep asking me, what do you want me to say? I mean, I just tell the truth that because you're
Yeah.
handsome, I'm coming here, and I wish I could suck your cock. So that's it.
Yeah.
But I got another video. Is that it happened on another like this called a spiritual, like a class. This kind of like workshop, like similar something similar with yoga or some stuff. I had a
Yeah.
recording that the teacher asked me the somehow similar question, and what you're special at? I said I'm special at blowjob. That is so hilarious. I literally made the teacher embarrassed and speechless, but it was so fun.
Oh.
And also, especially with the contrast, is that all
Yeah.
the because that workshop is using the name that you as a man, you can discover or use your masculinity in another way to explore your potential. Okay, that's their topic or that's their theme. That's their purpose of gathering the guys together. There were only guys there, and then when they come to me and they ask me the purpose. Actually, they didn't ask anybody the purpose. When it comes to me, he asked me, "What's your purpose? You're here." And I said, "I think probably in this class, a lot of guys are lost, and
Yeah.
I'm very good at seducing lost guys." That was the first shock of the for the teacher, and
Yeah.
furthermore, and they ask about like, oh, you have to think about two balls in your mind, and what are the balls doing, like, and how do you feel about that, okay, I can tell you, like, all the guys there except me, they are so fucking miserable. You can see they're fucking lost just by their appearance. They don't
Yeah.
feel good about their life. They feel depressed or something like that. All their description about their imagination is like the balls are fighting each other. They're like bouncing around, and they couldn't, some big, some small. It's out of balance. And when it
Yeah.
comes to me, I literally said the truth is that the balls in my mind is like, there is a bigger ball. I mean a bigger ball in the center, and it rotates itself, and then there are other two several balls around it, is like orbiting it like a very beautiful harmony way, and the balls are glowing, something like that.
Yeah.
And you know, after I said this, I felt like everyone looking at me, it feels like they were so jealous of me.
Yeah.
I said everything in harmony, everything in peace. I think, you know, it doesn't feel alright, you know, to say that.
Yeah.
It feels like if you are in a business class or whatever, right? You talk
Yeah.
about most people they say, oh, I just earn like $500 per month or whatever, and suddenly you said, oh my, I don't have to work, and every month I can get 5,000 US dollar, and you're gonna get a lot of people, you know, feel like what the fuck, you're a hero or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like in that class that money is no longer something, you know, as a standard. It's something
No.
else. But it's
Yeah.
more like a spiritual criteria. Nobody knows what the fuck it is, but I just said something that is punching to all of them. That
Yeah.
that felt funny. That felt so funny. So yeah, I mean, yeah. Back to the topic, I said like I fully agree that. Yeah, I'm a too much person
Yeah.
for Silvio, and especially for his nice, friendly, you know, friends.
Yeah.
How about your do you have a group of friends to hang out, something like that?
No, I don't. Because, well, like I said, many people here are like family. They have families, and they just don't have time because all of their time and energy is consumed by their families. And I live in like the country. It's not even a city. So I moved here because I had found this guy online and we got together. So I moved here without knowing anyone except him. And that was like
It's been how long?
2 or 3 years ago.
Oh
And
my god.
all of this time, I have like only been working and working and working. And well, I have had some friends, but it is this Jenny girl who now dumped me. And before her was another girl who I had a similar story with her.
Yeah.
So, well, I am this person who I aim at like one friend and then we hang out all the time. And it gets too big, you know? The relationship gets too important for both of us. And then we just split up. It's like a romantic relationship, but it is with a friend.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So I think it's difficult to balance the relationship with friends. I'm often bored by people because it's difficult to have this shallow connection.
Yeah, it's me too. I felt so bored, you know, if the person is less talkative, if the person is less eager to share, and even she or he shares, but the experience level is too much difference. It's like you're talking A, he's thinking of Z, and this is so difficult. I felt like so shallow. It's so appealing for me to keep continue that.
Yeah.
But I mean, but before you were working in a city, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think that maybe because of the city people and the country people are different?
Yeah, because most people who live here, they move from a big city out to the country to like have a peaceful life for their family.
Okay, so that's why
Yeah.
they actually they have been through the city life before, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But why they want to move out of the city? Why cannot they just live in the city and have their family there as well?
Because it's too expensive to buy a house in the city.
I see. Oh yeah, you just mentioned about you would buy a house with Jenny.
Yeah.
Like but why you wanna buy the house together with her? Cause it sounds impractical. I mean,
Well,
if you would open a company to buy it together. Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the policy difference in the policy. So maybe in Sweden that you can have two people, even the two people have no kind of like a family relation, but they still can buy a house together. That's,
it's difficult, but it's possible. But anyway, the situation is that Jenny is married to a guy.
yeah.
He has been studying for a couple of years now, and he has no job. So
What? He's been studying for a couple of years and still have no job.
yeah, because he finished school like just a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's difficult to find a job in his field, and also he's not taking responsibility enough to find a job. But anyway, so Jenny, in order to buy a house, you need to pay 15% cash,
Yeah.
and then the rest could be loans.
Yeah.
So Jenny has no cash, but she has the ability to take the loan, and
Okay.
I have the cash but no ability to take a loan.
Because you just
So-
took the jobless pension, something like that.
Exactly, yeah.
But the soon you have
Yeah.
another job, you can take the loan, right?
Yeah, if I have a steady job.
But the steady job, maybe they're gonna verify, like they're gonna check how long you've been working there or something like that, right?
Yeah, the limit is like 6 months or so.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I want to buy a house for myself, I have to pay it 100% cash, which is not very cool.
How much is the house there?
It's like 3 million. No, 3 million Swedish, which is like 300,000 US dollars.
300,000 US dollars.
Yeah,
How big the
That's
house
like a-
is?
that's like a basic house where I live right now. I mean, the prices are obviously different throughout Sweden, but you can find a decent house for that price.
But how big it would be?
Yeah,
like a-
like 4 bedrooms.
4 bedrooms. Oh, it's a house,
Yeah.
right? It's a house. It's not like a condominium.
No, it's not a condo. It's a house.
Wow, has 4 bedrooms. That's big, actually.
Yeah, but my plan or my thought is to buy a house and then to rent out the rooms.
Yeah.
So I could have one of the rooms, and then there could be other people living in the other rooms, and then that would give me like the freedom to travel and always have a place to come back to, and also have an income from the house.
Yeah, it's definitely correct.
Yeah.
But you think that would be easy? I mean, to rent the house out?
I'm not sure.
I don't know what's going on in Sweden, because the time my boyfriend was looking for an apartment, and
Yeah.
it's not a house, it's a apartment.
Yeah.
They actually have to make a reservation with the landlord to
Yeah.
check the place. Make a reservation with the agency, and actually they have to provide a lot of documents like your working place, your income, your
Yeah.
family education, all these kind of things. I felt like, gosh, it's just to rent a room. Why it has to be so complicated? And
Yeah.
they even have to queue. They even have to make a queue and to check the place, and then and you know that's the first time I hear people say this as this way. He called those people, I mean, including himself, as candidates, the candidates
Yeah.
to compete that house. I'm
Yeah,
like,
well, I don't know the situation in Switzerland, but in Sweden it's quite difficult if you are a landlord and you have tenants who perhaps they don't pay rent, or they smoke inside, or they like damage things. It's really difficult to get rid of them. That's
really?
why you have to
cannot
be
kick
yeah.
them out.
No, you cannot. It's like regulated by the law. So that's why they have to be really selective.
Wow, you know, that's how I know why, because in Canada it is the same. It's like
Yeah.
if the tenant doesn't pay the rent or does
Yeah.
something shit, you
Yeah.
cannot kick him out from the property.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Why?
No. No.
Do
No.
you
It's just allow people to act like assholes.
exactly? That's why there was once I talked to a Canadian guy, and he was also a landlord, and he said, the law here is crazy. It seems
Yeah.
like the law is actually encouraging people to do the crime or, you know, do
Yeah.
something injustice. Otherwise, you will be a stupid person.
Yeah. Because I know a guy, he owns properties and that he rents out, and he had just been able to get rid of a guy. He hadn't paid his rent for 11 months.
Fuck. But how could he get rid of him?
Because he had like crossed the line that this behavior is not okay. I think you have to, it has to be a specific number of months when you haven't paid rent, and then you could kick them out.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah. That's a long time, and that's a lot of money. Because
Exactly.
all the rents are not $300 here.
Yeah. And also, I felt like I felt like this money. I mean, you feel like this money it gives you too much difficulty, right, to earn it.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. So basically,
Yeah.
the song you bought the house, you just wish that everything can go smoothly, but suddenly
Yeah.
it's like you just want to have your passive income. But it turns out this passive income is so costly.
Yeah.
It's not passive at all. It's like passed out income.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But anyway, if it doesn't work, it's an experience at least. Then I've tried it.
You mean to get rid of the tenant?
Yeah.
Wow, who wants that experience? That's terrible.
Well, then you learn to be more selective next time.
But the thing is that, I mean, when we say experience, that probably specifically that is like using the same type of technique, right? Knowledge to handle the same situation with a lot of similar factors playing at the same time. But this about the tenants is like every tenant is different, right? It's different person, different type
Yeah.
of personality. So
Yeah.
of course you can call them all tenant, but they are all different individuals. That means you're
Yeah.
handling with them. I mean, this experience can be a never ending like a journey. Like you always have to sharpen your eyes to select or to check.
Yeah. Maybe.
And probably the one day you have collected all the experience enough to differentiate those
Yeah.
assholes. You don't even have
Yeah.
to be a landlord. You can just directly hired by the government to differentiate the bad ass on the street. That it's even
Yeah.
more efficient than waiting them to have crime and to catch them or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's why I think if you want to invest property and try to use that property to rent to get passive income, it's better you find a place that has more better regulation for the landlord.
Yeah. Yeah. Perhaps.
'Cause-
But I also want to be able to use the house myself. That's why I have come to realize that Sweden is quite a good country to live in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I know that they always say like Sweden and Switzerland, they're ranking the top two or at least top levels, top 10
Yeah.
in the Europe as the best place.
Yeah.
but I just feel that place is too cold.
Yeah, that's why I want to go to Thailand, in the winter time, and then I can be in Sweden during the summer.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when it was the first time because I never been to Europe. I've been to the U.S., been to the Africa, but never been to Europe. I don't know
Oh,
why, because I had so many European boyfriends in the past. I somehow felt like I have traveled the Europe already,
oh,
and that's why I'm less motivated to visit there, and somehow like that. So, okay, so after I'm dating with Silvio, and because
yeah,
dating with him is different because he's literally living there, right?
yeah,
Because in the past, if
yeah,
I was dating with Europeans, like they were living with me in Thailand or in China or something like that. So
yeah,
there was one day I remember that Silvio shared one picture of the lake in front of him, and I said
yeah,
I thought he was lying because that time was already in his time zone. It was already 10 p.m. Right?
yeah,
It should be the nighttime,
yeah.
but the place is as bright as heaven, like it's
Yeah, well,
daytime.
during the summer we have the sun. The sun sets at like 11 p.m.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
why I felt like, gosh, that is so weird.
yeah,
This is so weird. And before I thought, before I thought that probably Switzerland, Paris, or something like they are at the same like how what it called, longitude, right?
yeah,
The
yeah,
horizontal line of the Earth.
yeah,
It's at the same longitude of Shanghai, in China.
yeah,
And after I double checked with the Google map, I found out it was totally wrong.
yeah,
Actually, actually, the Europe longitude is almost at the level of the part that China is connecting with Russia.
all
So,
right.
yeah, that's why I never been there. So I don't know. I never know the weather there, how it goes. So I feel like, oh my God, it feels like another world.
Yeah,
It's like it's like 11 p.m. but the day is still so bright.
yeah.
It's
That was so
unbelievable.
strange for me to come to Thailand and the sun was setting at like 5 p.m. I was like, what is this?
What the fuck is going on? This is normal, This is no. What's it called?
No,
Normality.
no.
But do you see
It's like
those?
it. What?
But do you see those? What is it called? Antarctic, like the lights in the sky,
Yeah, we have them up north.
but not in your country, not in your.
Not where I live. No, I live in the south of Sweden. You have to
Ah,
go up north to see it.
oh gosh,
Yeah, the Arctic light.
Arctic light. Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah. No, never. But I really want to. It's really cool.
That's hilarious. It's like normally that it's like, hey, that's something funny. Is that okay? The first that I was living in Shanghai for a long time, even though I was not born in Shanghai, but I was living in Shanghai for more than 20 years. Because
Yeah.
Shanghai was famous for its several like attractions. And
Yeah.
I I asked so many local Shanghai people. I asked them, like, have you ever been there? They're like, I've never been there. Some
Yeah.
people they just live very close to it, like something like next door, but they never
Yeah.
actually went there to check
Yeah,
or some stuff.
but do you know how long it is to go up north?
Yeah, how long?
It's 19 hours in a car.
Why so long?
Because Sweden is a long country.
Gosh, I know it's long.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
it's
sounds
really long.
too
So
long.
it's not like you go up there in afternoon and watch the Arctic light. You have to plan it.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, my boyfriend, he likes tea. All kinds of tea.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I have something to tell you.
Okay.
It's so disgusting. Is that, you know, normally I think by common sense that you can mix juice, right, with vegetables.
Yeah.
The flavor they still get along with each other.
Yeah.
And it also makes sense that you mixed milk with matcha powder, or you mix milk with coffee, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because the flavor or they get along each other as well. But
Yeah.
it's very rare that my boyfriend he mixes apple juice with matcha powder.
Ew.
That's my.
That sounds really gross.
That sounds really gross because the color is even gross as well.
Yeah.
Because oh my god, that was last July, and that was the first time he proposed me this recipe. I felt like, oh my god, it's so disgusting, but I was still trying to be open minded. I said I would like to give it a try. Then
Yeah.
I tried it. It sucks. It feels so disgusting. And this guy constantly drinking that shit all the
Ew.
time. I don't know how he could swallow that shit. But anyway, that's his art. And
Yeah.
and there was one day, because I'm Chinese, but I don't drink tea most of the times, and
Okay.
and I couldn't tell which tea is better or what type of this tea is or that. But he is like he probably entitled himself as an expert or whatever. But yeah, because there was one day he was showing off about his new product, new collection of tea or some stuff, and I said I don't know, and he said, "Gosh, are you Chinese?" And I said, since your country is so famous of banking, do you know anything about finance and banking? And he was
Yeah.
so speechless. And he called me bitch. I think that was seriously, I miss that time that we were being sarcastic, like a couple
Yeah.
or something like that. But it's just like I think I like I said, I would be fine that if he could tell me that, oh, the American girl came here again, and we are busy. Probably I will contact you when she leaves. I would be okay, but he never mentioned
Yeah.
that. Just because I said broke up, I said I would have a phone call. I pushed him to tell me the truth that actually the American girl is actually still living with him.
Yeah.
That is, I feel like, oh come on, that's lame.
Yeah.
But do you sometimes feel like guys, you have to push them in order to make them say
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you don't push, they're just like a big ass, like
Yeah.
no reaction.
Yeah. When I was at this airsoft war game with this guy, Jenny's brother-in-law.
I never know that you are a gamer.
No, I only tried it this one time.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, so I was with this guy, Christian, and he had been playing the airsoft game for like 8 or 9 years with the same guys.
Wait.
And
He has been playing the same game for 9 years.
Yeah, they play like in a group and they go to different settings and play.
Okay. Can you give me a little introduction about the game? It's like.
Yeah, sure. After I finish my story.
Cool.
So I was gonna say this guy Christian. He took me there.
Yeah.
And the guys asked me, "Oh, so he takes you here on a date? That's so extreme or whatever." And I was like,
Oh wait, so basically he told his friends that he was asking a girl for a date.
No, because he hadn't even told them that he was married, and they didn't know he was
What?
married and have a kid. So they have been knowing each other for like 8 or 9 years, and they don't know this basic information about each other.
What the fuck?
That's to me that's insane. That
Exactly.
would never ever happen.
How come you are hanging out with this guy and you don't know your bro is married or having kids or whatever?
I don't know.
How old is this guy?
He's like 37, I think.
37, and they
Yeah.
never suspected whether this guy is married or what.
Yeah.
Probably his game bros are so stupid or retarded to
Well,
even question
I
this.
questioned them and asked, like, how can you do this without talking to each other? And I said that I find it quite common in guys that they don't share personal information, and they were just laughing and like felt so struck by it, you know, like that is the truth.
Well, that's why I said, the connection between the guys are so lame that
Yeah.
there's no even a quality of that. You don't even know who that person is. And you
Yeah,
just...
but also I can feel that it is like refreshing to have that kind of relationship where you meet in this specific setting and you do your thing, you know, and then you just go back to your regular life.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, there is no drama in that.
Yeah. It's like escapism, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's very, very, very guys.
Yeah.
The boys. I mean, I call them
Yeah.
big boys. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like they never grow up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so lame.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
they just sit there playing things without communication.
Yeah.
Personally speaking, that I give much respect and credit to the people who create the games, because that's a creation.
Yeah.
That is a very challenging process. But the people
Yeah.
who are playing the games, and especially they spend too much time on it, I feel like, ooh, okay. I don't know how to say that, but I just feel like, I get it.
Yeah.
I would automatically think that this guy who spent too much time on the game or something doesn't develop so much of his mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps.
Yeah, it happens to a lot of guys, like they are so muscular, and
Yeah.
they spend too much time on gym. In gym, it's actually those guys. The first time that you talk to them, you also feel like this guy is so shiny, full of positive energy. But if you keep talking and talking, you feel like those people, they're actually so shallow.
Yeah.
And it actually makes sense because they spend most of their time to train their body instead of training their mind. Yeah.
Well, a lot of the guys who were at this game, they were engineers actually.
In the gym, right?
Sorry?
Well, sorry, what did you say? In the gym?
They were engineers.
In the gym.
No, at the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, what I'm saying is that they are intelligent people, but not so emotionally developed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's another. I mean, that's another even desperate topic, is that the people who doesn't understand the human feelings, right, in a full spectrum, and they are the people who are creating the softwares, the systems for us.
Yeah.
So it sounds lame.
Yeah.
But there are some people are brilliant, like Steve Jobs, who knows. how to use technology to give you some scratch.
Yeah.
You know, back in China, like we always say, if you use like some phones out of Apple, and you have to somehow adapt to the system a little bit. It's like you have to make some compromise with it. But using Apple is just so smooth, even though like some of the function is not even some of the hardware is not the top level compared to some like new models in Android or something like that. But they just in everything Apple they just designed so nicely. It just looks so appealing. Like it looks so comfortable by using the system.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
What's your plan today? You got something else to do?
I'm gonna take some food right now, I think.
What? Take some fruit.
Food. I'm gonna eat.
Oh yeah. You're gonna cook yourself?
Well, I have already cooked, so I'm just gonna reheat it.
Hey, you know, I think the next time if you got everything ready and we can turn on the video camera, I can teach you how to cook some Chinese food.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I would love that.
Recently I learned a new technique or a new recipe. I've tried it myself. It's fucking so good. I think the materials are not hard to find. You just I would just give you a list, not too much, maybe 5 items. You just try to find it in the supermarket or whatever, and then you could definitely make the same thing. It's so great. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have some, Asian markets here, so it's quite easy to find.
Yeah, I think it's not that common. It's just soy sauce. I think soy sauce every market has, right? Has it.
Yeah, I have that already.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about. I mean, yeah, we can give it a try next time. I will give you a list, and then you can find it. You know, I proposed the same thing to my boyfriend. You know, I said like in the future if you, I mean, long time ago. I mean, before April, he moved out from his parents' house. I said if you go out, we can have video call and have I can teach you how to cook this. But it never happened. He is so fucking busy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what is he doing even when he's not working?
He is actually working. He's working homestay, like right now.
Yeah, but I mean, he cannot work all the time.
I don't know. I think um, it's hard to say. I personally don't know. And
Is it like playing video games, or
no,
I mean, if he doesn't have the time to talk to you?
he doesn't play that at all. That's the thing. I think he's chatting with his other friends or other girls, or what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally don't know what he does apart from the work, or I just just know that sometimes he went to a gym to exercise there, but it also doesn't take that much time.
No.
Yeah. But I would basically conclude that it's just because he doesn't feel motivated to talk to me.
Yeah.
So that's why whenever I send him a message, it would take hours for him to reply. And sometimes, you know, the reply, I mean, not sometimes, I would say like 60 to 70%. Oh, that's too much. Maybe 50%. He would just simply send an emoji back.
Oh.
So
That's so boring.
yeah, that's so boring. And you don't feel that, you know, you deserve that. That's
No, it just shows that he's not interested.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's why I feel like, okay, so if you are like this, and why should I still,
Yeah.
we call it using my hot lips to kiss your cold ass.
Yeah.
It's very descriptive, right?
Yeah.
Because in Chinese we have this. Why I have to use my hot lips to kiss your cold ass? Like, it's, it makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
Oh gosh. Oh, I was trying to learn German, and but I quit.
Yeah.
I think I quit not because the language is hard. I think the language is okay. I mean, for me is that if I want to, I can master another language. It depends, it depends. It's also about my motivation. I just feel,
Absolutely.
yeah, I just feel like the only reason I want to learn German is
Yeah.
because in the future I could live with him and stay in Switzerland, something like that. So that's why
Yeah.
I would learn that in order to, involve myself better in the society, in the country or whatever.
Yeah.
But because I felt like, he doesn't give me the hope that he wanted to go that direction, or he doesn't
Yeah.
give me the hope that we're gonna meet here or whatever, we're gonna have a life living together.
Yeah.
The song I figured that out. I felt like,
Yeah.
I have no any motivation to learn this language,
Yeah.
because I think, yeah, I don't see the point that if there's a no is there there's a reason for me to spend extra time to master a language. I'm not there's a lot of people, they are very enthusiastic to learn a new language or something, but
Yeah.
that is not me, because whenever I learn something, I always measure the investment and the return,
Yeah.
because I think I think in the future I will try to write more English articles or some stuff, because I shared the things into the group. It had really
Yeah.
positive result. A lot of people, they made good comments. They said like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like a Netflix series, a nice screenplay. Are you writing a story? You should publish a book. I felt I was encouraged,
Yeah.
and I think, because English is not my mother language, probably, yeah, it's okay for us to talk and to communicate, but if
Yeah.
is in another process, like you're gonna to publish book or some stuff, it
Yeah.
could be more challenging. So I
Yeah.
think why not I would spend time, on that, instead of pick up a new language to learn,
Exactly.
if you're not motivated to let me come to your life or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you know any Thai?
Does he know
Do you know? Have you learned?
Thai?
The Thai language?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Also, I don't know. I personally think, I think it sounds so arrogant to say. I just felt like learning English and Chinese, and basically it's very, very enough for the whole world.
Yeah, true.
Because the Chinese language is covers the most population, and
Yeah.
English covers the most countries. I mean, the
Yeah.
most diverse people from different worlds to speak the same language. But for Chinese, it's
Yeah.
most people living in China, in Taiwan, in Singapore, they speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of these countries, not many. Yeah, so that's why I
Yeah.
felt like, oh, if I could, yeah. But pick up a new language to learn, it's too challenging. I mean, not too challenging. It just feel like, you can do that, but it's so time costly.
Yeah.
especially in Europe, most people they can speak English, right?
Yeah.
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 Oh, do you
Well,
know?
Tox, I'm
okay.
gonna eat now, so.
Cool, yeah. Okay, thank you,
But
honey. I'm fucking appreciate that you spend time with me about this.
no problem. I appreciate it as well.
I hope I didn't get you bored.
No, absolutely not. I actually miss you a lot.
Oh, I mean, last time you talked about coming to Thailand, then if you have time, just work on it and see how you can come back.
Yeah.
It's so sweet to talk to you.
I'm just worried that hostels are going to be closed and transportations are going to be difficult or whatever.
Actually, you want to live in a hostel if you come to Thailand?
Well, maybe.
I know actually in Copenhagen, I don't know whether you would stay in Copenhagen or not, but in Copenhagen actually they have a guest house, but just a little higher than the price of hostel. I mean,
Yeah.
judging by the monthly rent, okay. But I
Yeah.
think it's good enough, something like that.
Yeah. That's absolutely an option.
But if you come to Thailand again, which part you would like to stay?
How long?
I mean, which part of Thailand you would like to stay?
Which part? I was thinking of maybe. I was thinking about maybe Koh Samui or Koh Phangan or Koh Tao.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome to Copenhagen. I think Copenhagen is much better. Because right now, people they say Koh Samui is like a ghost island.
All right.
I would say there are more local people there. And those local people, they rely on the island to make tourist business, right?
Yeah.
Because right now there's no tourists, and so a lot of shops, everything there is collapsing. But things are very very different. I can swear to you, it's fucking different in Copenhagen. Copenhagen is fucking full of people.
All right. That sounds good.
I mean, it's full of foreigners. I have a Chinese friends who visited Copenhagen. I mean, a few months ago, and they were shocked. They said, "Oh my God," they literally felt this is like another country, all of Thailand. It's like, I think you get what I mean. I mean, when you were in Qatar, you also felt that, like you see foreigners, like different race, other than Thai people everywhere, right?
Yes.
But it's just that time is a tourist season. It's very common to see foreigners. But right now it's a COVID, like this like fucking time. But you come into Copenhagen, you feel like, oh my God, it's like it doesn't feel like it's a COVID time, things like that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Because last time I checked the news, I saw they were like they were banning people from even swim in the ocean. I think it was in Phuket.
Possibly yes. But today they just released a new sanction is that we cannot sit in the restaurant. We only can take away. But I think I think this regulation would only last probably 1 month or what. Then it would be withdrawn.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't have a job anyway, so I have the possibility to go.
Yeah. I think better is that maybe you can, before you come to Thailand, you can try to find a job that it would allow you to work online. And because today I just met an Irish guy, and he told me that he found a customer service job for an online website. So he only has to work 6 hours per day, and it's like for those people they don't know how to establish their own websites, and they will use a video camera to communicate, to indicate things like that. I mean, I personally think that I think Copenhagen there's a lot of like digital nomads. Like they work online.
Yeah.
They are writers. They're life coach. Some programmer, designer, things like that. That's what I
Yeah.
think. And I
Yeah.
think, and also English teachers. So
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be that difficult. Yeah. To
Yeah,
find,
that's a good idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, let's talk next time. I mean, since you are temporarily free, or I mean, we can just find any time to talk to communicate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just send a text first.
Yeah, exactly, to confirm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much,
Okay.
honey. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Because I feel like I was, originally I didn't want to actually talk this to anyone about my breakup with my boyfriend. Because
Yeah.
I felt like it's too much to explain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for a lot of people, it seems very complicated.
Yeah.
But something is stuck in my mind. I felt like it would be better that I could find a person to express my feeling, to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No problem at all.
Okay, you enjoy
Okay.
your food. Bon appetit. And
Thank you.
thank you. And let's
Have a good evening.
go to sleep.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye bye.